to create this healing list event for patrons. This is our June healing event, so welcome. So I've got a couple of things here with me. My big singing bowl. It's actually really big. It probably doesn't look big where it's sitting, but it's huge. So I've got this sitting up here, and I've got this mural that I have painted recently. I felt like I wanted to have that in the background. And I'm just going to flow with our healing journey today. I'm very much focused around cleansing, clearing, purging, which we could also add letting go, releasing, surrendering, all that kind of purging, clearing sort of stuff. Feels to be really strong this morning. So I'd like to focus on that. My intention is that I have all of those of you on my healing list in my little jug. There's 41 on the healing list today. I'm going to pull your name out of the pot, call your name and pop you into this bowl. And then when everybody's in the bowl, I'm going to play the bowl and I'll pull some healing energy cards as we go. And then after that, so I've pinched Corey's Phoenix drum. So this rising energy then coming through. Hi, Emily, welcome. Yes, we will be doing some sound healing, that's for sure. So welcome. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting my work and who is on this healing list today. Thank you for your support and for being here. It's lovely to see you too, Emily. Welcome. And Jane, hello. Jane loves that pink Phoenix drum. It's actually red. I don't know. Maybe it's coming through a weird colour. It's actually red and fiery and a bit yellowy. So, yes, I painted that for Corey in 2010. So it's one of our first drums, or his. I pinch it sometimes when I want to connect with the Phoenix. So, cleansing, purging, clearing, releasing. Good morning, Colleen. Lovely to see you here. What do you need around that at this time? Hello, Angel Eyes. Welcome. Thanks, Jane. What do you need to clear right now? Are you feeling stuff being clogged up in your body on a physical level? Do you need some clearing and purging? Maybe on a physical level, you've been feeling like, or you've got a bit of a mess around and you're needing to do some cleaning, or maybe you've already started some spring cleaning or some sorting out on the physical. So in our body or in our surroundings around us. I'd also almost include, hi Susie, I'd include probably things like social media clearing or disconnecting from our devices or our computers, turning them off sometimes. That is sometimes needed, and I feel it could be quite a physical purging as well. Good morning, Gail. Welcome to you. So do you need some clearing physically in your physical body, your physical life, your physical activities that you do? Maybe you're needing more of an emotional clearing. Have you been feeling a bit pent up emotionally, or that you're dealing with quite intense emotions that may be overwhelming, they may be raw, they may be difficult to describe or connect with at the moment. So you may be feeling awash with a mix of emotion. So maybe for you, your cleansing today could be or is more needed on an emotional level. Maybe you need your cleansing on a mental level. I was thinking physical because I just talked about it, but I meant mental. Maybe you need more of a mental clearing. Have your thoughts been a bit crazy lately? Are you thinking the worst? Are you making assumptions? Are you holding a lot of expectations? Are you feeling insecure and limited and doubtful in your mind? Are you feeling scared, resistant mentally? Or have you been in a pretty good mental place? So maybe for you, you need some mental clearing and purging. So it's helpful for us as individuals to know where we've got stuff backing up, on what level, because that will help us understand what we need to do, or understand the essence, I guess, behind what's going on for us. Now, sometimes we have physical, mental, emotional, all that stuff all lumped in together, and we've got all that stuff going on. But usually before it gets to all that stuff and everything, usually it's in one area first. Emily definitely needs mental clearing this month as she's journaled and figuring out where her resistance is. Just before tonight's session. Interesting. So yeah, if it is like on a mental level, it's really good to distinguish that as early on as possible, before it hits emotionally and before it then hits physically. And it doesn't have to be in that order. We could have a mess in our physical life where we're dealing with situations or people that are driving us crazy. So let's deal with that. We understand it's on a physical level before it hits us too bad emotionally and mentally. So if we can distinguish as early on as possible where we're holding this stuff, what level is it on, and then that will give us the information we need to be able to do something about it before it gets out of hand, before it gets out of control. So physically, body, life, physical things we're doing, relationships, that sort of thing. Emotional would sit in a different place for all of us. I find where I'm dealing with things emotionally does tend to still sit in my body. So I've got to then figure out in my own head and my own heart, is this emotional or is this physical? Can I distinguish those two things apart yet at this point? So I sit in that feeling and figure out what it is and that it's on an emotional level. Mental, sometimes that can get quite entangled with our emotions. So when I'm in assessing where this energy is being stored, is it mental, emotional, physical? I will then pay attention, well, hopefully I already am, paying attention to my thoughts and what is going on a mental level. So mentally, I might be feeling very heady. I might be feeling quite ungrounded, and I might be just overthinking things, not giving myself much of a mental break, if you like, if I'm in that really heavy mental state. Bathsheba, welcome. Thanks for being here today. So we're doing cleansing, purging, cleaning out, which can also include releasing, surrendering, letting go. So hopefully you've now tapped into where this energy is sitting for you and what you personally need so that you can get the most out of this. So let's play the singing bowl for a moment before I pop your names in there, and we'll just get this energy. Bathsheba, I'm feeling really good. Thank you. I trust you are as well. So I'm going to play the singing bowl. Take some deep breaths and use this as a time to check in with yourself. And especially checking in if you're not clear where you're currently feeling a bit agitated or where that energy's sitting, emotionally, mentally, physically. So nice big breaths. And just sit in this feeling that you're soon to be taking the steps to clearing. It's hard to clear things if you don't know what it is that you're clearing. It makes it a little more difficult. So think of this as connecting in, that getting the clarity that you need. Now, as we prepare to add those of you on the healing list into our singing bowl, I'm thinking of this as like a pool of cleansing waters. So like a spring, a pool, a little collection of water of some sort. I can't think of other things right now, but just a pool is probably the best, a healing pool of water. So I imagine that this bowl is now full of water, healing sound, as we prepare to put you into that space for cleansing and healing. So the best card right now as we prepare for this. Oh, thanks, Emily. It is beautiful. Ah, this is interesting because this is what I've been clearing a lot of, or it's been coming to my attention a lot personally in these last couple of days, is the presence of ego. Card 94. It's in the rest category. And down here, it says, remain humble. The ego, which I partially define as the voice of my hurt and pain. Don't allow self-love to become being self-centered. So keeping a balance. And don't overinflate yourself. So we all have different levels or standards of this. And I realize, like for me personally, my levels of ego are pretty low and pretty non-existent. But when it starts just creeping up a little bit, like that's too much for me. So, hi, Andrea. Glad you could make it. Yes, thanks, Bathsheba. So when it starts creeping up even a little bit for me, in general standards for people, it's probably still nothing. But for me, it's quite high because I try and really stay under that, coming from that perspective. So, yeah, it's interesting that sort of, I guess, the level that we find that is acceptable for us, where we let our ego live, or our ego or arrogance exist. So has that been playing out for you lately? And what can you do about it today? And especially during this time we're spending together. Have you been overinflating yourself? Has your self-love become being too self-centered? Are you too buried in your hurt and pain and your wounds that it's just all that exists right now? Are you putting yourself up on a pedestal or thinking yourself better than others? Do you have an overinflated opinion of yourself lately? Are you comparing others to you and sort of judging them based on how good you are or how much better you are than other people? So these are the sorts of things that are coming to mind with this card. And so it's suggesting that maybe for some of us, because this comes up for the majority, that maybe there is a presence of ego. So on that pedestal sort of thinking, but also on the hurt and pain thinking too. How loud are your wounds right now? How loud is your hurt? And this would be most likely more on a mental level, you know, this inflated opinion of ourselves, or trying to control things. Why are we trying to do that? Do we think that we're right all the time? Do we think that we're better? Do we think that we're something special compared to other people? It's kind of dangerous ground to be walking, in my opinion. So that's coming up for now as we move into adding your names to this pool, this sacred pool of sound, and I imagine water. I'm going to, as I pull a few names out from time to time, I'm going to pull another card. So we'll probably pull a few out as I'm doing this. So I'm going to put the pot here off to the side. Hopefully I won't bump. Actually, I will. I'll put it in my lap. Okay, nice big breath. And as I call your name out, imagine you coming into this sort of healing space. Tila says, I feel like I'm just learning to be more self-confident and trying to build up my ego. It's interesting, isn't it? Because I think we all have different definitions of that energy and what ego is, and what standards we have, or what expectations perhaps, or levels that we will accept or not accept of that. And I think it does take some amount of ego to step into our self-confidence, but I don't know if it requires much for me in my thoughts. Okay, so as I'm calling your name, I imagine putting you into this healing pool, and you're welcome to imagine that too. I'd also, if it was me, if my name was being called, I'd sort of imagine really immersing myself in this healing pool, like I was almost shrinking myself down, but not necessarily, but fitting into this space, like it was a little mini version of me in this pool, cleansing, clearing, purging, letting go. Okay, so first person going into our healing pool today is Priscilla Kimboko. So Priscilla, in you go. Andrea says, my ego contributes to chaos. I need to return to the heart. Interesting. Interesting. Bathsheba says she's been down, confused and tired. Yeah, so that tired energy is probably quite mental and physical, isn't it? Although emotions can be very exhausting. Emily, you're next. Emily Fussell, in you go into our healing pool. Welcome. Next, it's Kanti Devi Wedad. Kanti Devi, into the healing pool you go. Next is Andrea Stuart. Andrea, into the healing pool. I can feel my hands, like the energy coming out of you is really strong as I'm putting you down with my left hand. Next is Bridget Mehrtens. Into the healing pool you go. Next is Andreas Kazantzidis. Into the healing pool you go. Yeah. So sit with that, let it clear, let it shift, let it move. Because remember, when we're clearing, cleansing, purging, releasing, letting go, surrendering, something very common about all this, and it's moving the energy. Emily's swimming in the healing pool already. Excellent. Next person is Susan McMillan. Into the healing pool you go. And as you are entering into this space, think about also letting go of your worries, your general stuff that you've got going on in your life that you're dealing with at this time. Kimberly Veness, into the healing pool you go. Yvonne Kruzich, into the healing pool you go. Nice big breaths. And, Bathsheba, I was about to say, this is the last one we're going to call, then I'm going to pull another card. Bathsheba, you're next. Bathsheba Dixon. Into the healing pool you go. So as more people are added in here, the energy's getting stronger. Like it's really tangible here. Emily just noticed the deer painting. Yes. Beautiful, isn't it? So this is opening. Okay, let's grab another card. I'm going to leave the presence of ego out, and we'll add another card at this point. So nice big breath. And the best card for this time is, I'm going to pull another one because I just totally flipped a bunch over there. Okay, the best healing energy card for this moment of our journey is this one. Here, protection, protected, card 74. And the other one was 94. So protected from the ego, perhaps. It says, stand strong, safety, protect yourself, your loved ones, and your property. Protective force field activated. Step back, temporary, passing storm. So this is a protected card, not protection. Not protection would be nice. It's protected. It's like a fixed statement almost. Protected. You are protected right now. So this would probably come up at this point in our healing to help us, a bit like I talked about the other day in a healing video, about feeling safe to be ourselves and feeling safe to let ourselves feel and to be vulnerable and to recognize what ego is present that we won't accept. To recognize and to let ourselves sit in this energy, we have to have some form of safety or protection to be able to let ourselves be vulnerable in that way, even if it's only being vulnerable to ourselves. So protected, allowing ourselves to feel deeply, to explore deeply, and to be vulnerable. And Angel Eye says, so to understand this is Patreons. Yes, but I'm a follower on your Facebook, so how come I can see this, please? So Angel, this is a healing event for some of my patrons who connect with this each month or whenever they want to. And if you're on my Facebook, this is a public sharing. So you won't be on the healing list today if you're not on my Patreon. But you're very welcome to be here and still include yourself in this event if you like. So I'm sure it's no accident you happen to be here. If you're open to it, please let yourself receive and work with the energy that's coming up. So I hope that makes sense. I trust that makes sense. So thank you. Okay, next person. Let's see. I don't know what's happening with the comments now. Okay, next person we add to this healing pool is this person. It's Marguerite Pepper Brady. Marguerite, into the healing pool you go. So we've now created a space of protection here as well, which it already was because it feels to me like a safe place. So now, can you take your connection with this healing and cleansing deeper by letting yourself feel a little bit more vulnerable, a little more open, and go a little deeper inside yourself? Sit a little deeper into your feelings and into your blocks at the moment. Might also be helpful. Rayna Ortiz. Rayna, into the healing pool you go. Next is Sandi Greenham. Into the healing pool for you, Sandi. And Viktoria Daniels, into the healing pool for you. This is really nice here. Let's play it for a moment. Okay, next person is Joanne Monroe. The sun's coming out behind the clouds. Suzie Nicholls, into the healing pool you go. Swim. Get comfortable in here, guys. Get comfortable. Jayne Corlett, into the healing pool you go. Next is Pamela Florea, into the healing pool. Matthew Keith, adding you to the healing pool. Let yourself receive too while you're in here. So if you struggle to visualize yourself here, like swimming in a pool, or if you can't imagine that very easily, then just know that you're here and you've been added into this healing space. And then see what your body does in response to that. Kathleen Glen, into the healing pool you go. We'll pull two more and then I'll pull another card. Next is Avril Daly. Avril, into the healing pool for you. And next is Jane Larson. Jane, into the pool you go. Okay, let's see which healing energy card wants to add to our collection we're building. We've got 94, we've got 74. So the next healing energy card for this just slight pause in our journey is this here. Oh, it feels like a peace is coming over, a calm. Oh yes, self-confrontation. It's got a 4 in it. It's 42 and it's in the depth category. And down here it says, have courage to look in the mirror. Come out of hiding. Take your face off, which we can interpret in a few different ways. Could be mask that you've been putting on and wearing, your certain personas that you've been, and masks that you've been putting on. Find the courage now to take that off. We know that we're protected. We know that we're dealing with our ego and we're dealing with healing at this time, which is clear. It is safe for you now to go a little deeper and really consider taking your face off, your mask, your costume that you've been wearing around certain people in certain situations, to be the strong one for your children perhaps, to see difficult times through. We have to do what we have to do to get through these types of things. So we kind of put on costumes and masks energetically. Can you take yours off, even just briefly? Put the mask aside. Imagine removing that. It says here, care about how you feel. Stop holding back. Oh, this is interesting. Create a new safe zone. And I might even change that to we are creating a new safe zone. And honesty. So can you find the courage to look in the mirror, see who you truly are, and also see what about you, what are you holding back about yourself? And sometimes it is to cope, and this is okay. But are you still in that situation? Because we forget to take them off when situations change, which is interesting. Okay, next to add to our healing pool is Robin Hippler. In you go, Robin. Welcome. And now Rebecca Ross into the healing pool for you, Rebecca. Next is Allison. Oh, Allison fell back in the pot. Emily. Oh, yes. Welcome. Allison. That's interesting. Chelsea Keith, into the healing pool you go. Next is Nicole Wiggins, into the healing pool for you. Next is Carol White, into the healing pool for you, Carol. Nice big breaths. We've got Christopher Regan. Chris, into the bowl for you, into the healing pool. Let yourself receive now. Surrender. Open. Receive. Ah, excellent. Tashy Gerlach. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Tash. I should ask you sometime in person. Welcome, Tash, to the healing pool. Ellen Stensley, into the healing pool for you. Next is, hi, Robin. Great. I'm glad you're feeling good there. Angie Griswold, into the healing pool for you. Let's just do a little play. Ooh. Okay, we'll pull a couple more, then I'll do another card. We've probably got around 10 left in here. Susan Sonsteng, in you go. 3 more I'll do, and then I'll pull a card. Angela Fraser, into the healing pool. Gayle McCoy, into the healing pool. And Jayne, into the healing pool for you, dear Jayne. And we'll do a little... Okay, let's grab another card. So we've probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. About 5 people left. So we're just tying this addition time, I guess, adding people to the bowl. Now, if you're not on the healing list, you can imagine yourself in the bowl. Why not? Why not? So next card for this point in our journey is this. Will we keep the 4 trend? No. We've got card 1, enchantment. So this is in the rest category. And down here it says, walk lightly. Lighten up. Grounding. Spend time in nature. Contemplate potential new beginnings and what's next for you. Consider your dreams and fantasy. So there's something quiet and contemplative, introspective about this artwork here. So this is a figure, let's say you, sitting on a bed of crystals inside this tree. This tree is watching over you, protecting you, helping you feel safe to be introspective, to be in your company, to be yourself. So you're sitting in this alcove, this little cave in the tree on this bed of crystals, which is not dissimilar to this. We've added you almost, it's a little bit like this healing pool is like a bed of crystals. Now think about it. So that's interesting. All right, let's grab the last few names out of here. Okay, next is Janice Chalmers. Janice, into the healing pool you go. Kristine Allen, into the healing pool for you, Kristine. And we have Tila Smith, into the healing pool for you. And two more left. We have Michele Burch. Michele, into the healing pool for you. And lucky last. Oh, beautiful, Tila. Lucky last but not least is Joanna Levine. Just make sure that is everyone. Joanna, into the healing pool you go. Right, now straight into some drumming. But the drumming doesn't sound very good on this microphone. So I'm going to unpin it and pop it over there. And I'm not going to talk. I want to hold this space with the drum, and I might tap on the bowl a little bit too. So take some big deep breaths and really feel yourself in this place, in your body. And let yourself settle in this space for cleansing, for healing, for purging, for perhaps some you time. Let yourself receive. What do you need at this time? Be clear about that, and then come into the healing pool. Be here and receive it. So I'm going to drum. It is safe for you to let go. Okay, so nice big breath. And really holding you here. Holding you to really allow you to do the cleansing and clearing and healing that you need. Trust that you know what you need. And if you don't know what you need right now, then maybe spending a little bit of time working that out. It can really help, like I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, is distinguishing whether you're feeling or dealing with things physically, emotionally, or mentally. And that will help you understand where these things are sitting or where your issues are sitting, so that you can then do something about it. Because wherever it's sitting, the main part where it's sitting, especially before it starts accumulating and becoming all of those, if you know where this energy is sitting, whether it be emotional, physical, mental, for the most part, then there are different strategies that you can do, different things, tools that you can use to support your moving through that energy on whatever level that you're experiencing it. Often it means that we need to make some changes, though. Changes in our life, changes to our diet, changes to our behaviour, our attitude, even how we treat ourselves may be highlighted as things that need to be changed based on what we discover and what we distinguish as being the issue for us. So like I said, I think in last week's current energy report, that we go seeking the answer to things or the solution to things, but we don't clearly know most of the time what the actual question is, what the problem is. So it's like if we're doing mathematics and we're looking for the answer, let's say the answer is 5, but we don't clearly know what the question is. So how do we even know that that is the answer? So when we figure out that our question is, or our problem is 2 plus 3, and then we can go ahead and figure out based on what we've figured out from the problem or the question, then we can proceed to more clearly find the answer being 5. It's very difficult to pluck an answer out of thin air or a solution when we're not clearly aware of the problem. So something to think about is to, okay, we've got a problem, we're challenged right now. Let's figure out what the problem is. Let's figure out the question so that we can then be proactive in finding a real solution, a real answer that is not something that doesn't stick or something that doesn't last, which is what does tend to happen if we think that we've healed something and it keeps coming back. And sometimes we strip it back in layers, but a lot of the time we're just not clearly dealing with or clearly understanding or figuring out what that problem is. So holding you all still in this healing pool, and it feels really nice in here, and just really allowing you to figure out what you need for yourself, which is really cool. Okay, let's grab another card at this point, and then we'll see what we need to do. How are you all feeling over there? Are you feeling okay? Oops, for some reason I grabbed all the cards but left the confrontation one out, but now I've popped that back in. Okay, let's see which healing energy card we need now. I'm going to put it in the bowl, so whatever it is, I don't know at all. Feeling calm and focused, says Emily. Fantastic. Jane says, I've been a rising phoenix, dancing in lightness and fancy-free, then powerful and stamping feet, building strength and clearing out old energy and stuff. Yes. Angel Eyes feels more relaxed. That's fantastic. And that is a really good thing. Okay, the best healing energy card to add in here to your healing pool. Oops. Oh, they're all falling out. Okay, we need just to reshuffle. I'm not picking it till I have the cards together. Okay, this is better. Okay, the best healing energy card for you guys for the healing pool is this here. Oh, yeah. Where did I put this? Here, 75, New Beginnings. It's in the action category. And down here it says, actually this is perfect. It says walk forward, courage. What do you need courage for? Courage to face difficulties, courage to face something that's going on in your life? Do you need courage to see the truth? Do you need courage to change? Do you need courage to make changes? Do you need courage to change your ways? Do you need courage to speak up and say the truth to someone? Do you need courage to move from your head to your heart? Do you need courage, which we can now add as strength, to get ready to move out of the healing pool, which is what we're going to be doing? Courage to change your ways, courage for new beginnings. Okay, walk forward, courage. So courage, strength, personal power, determination perhaps, fullness, ripe, fertile, the harvest. So enjoying the fruits of your labour and your hard work. And in those fruits are the seeds for the next growth, the next beginning. Birth, a bright future ahead. The unknown. Do you need courage to face the unknown? Uncertainty, prepared, ready, and take action. So when I drew this card, I remember all down the back here of the body is like steam coming off. All the stuff that we've been holding on to, coming off like steam across the back. As we let it go, we let it be in the past, and in some ways forget about it, depending on what it is. So letting it just lift away, move away from our body. As we step into this new beginning, bright, she's fully pregnant, she's about to birth here. So this represents the birth of new things and our willingness to step forward, to move, to walk, to move, to feel our way through things. So releasing in this way and stepping into this doesn't come by just stopping and hovering in our wounds and our issues or rolling around in the mud. This is action, this is movement. Just like I said before, yes, our focus on this in this healing event is cleansing, purging, clearing, cleaning out, also releasing, surrendering, letting go. All that stuff is moving energy. So we have to be willing to move. We have to be willing to change, or we're going to hover in our issues and our wounds. So new beginnings. You ready, guys? I'm going to put this face down, actually. Dropping new beginnings into this pool on top of you. So it feels like the bottom of this pool is a bed of crystal, and you're all laying or swimming or being, crying, submerged, floating. Whatever you need is right for you. And I know you know what you need. However you need to be in here. And then on top are these new beginnings, inspiring action, movement, change, courage, a willingness to see the truth. So with this, it's going to be great to now work with the Phoenix. It looks so cloudy out there. I'm not really sure why the sun's so bright, but it looks really cloudy. So it's quite funny. Let's work with the drum again, because the drum is the rise of the Phoenix out of the ashes, but I'm feeling like lifting up out of the healing pool. So you've had your time in here. You've let yourself receive. You've connected with what you need. You've moved things, hopefully, or whatever you needed to do in here. And now it's time to lift up out. So how will we do this? Let me just think. I'm going to put you... No, I'm not. I don't want to contain you at all. Okay, let's sprinkle you over here on these chimes. So I'll just play these for a moment. So prepare yourself now to lift up, to rise, to soar, to come out of the healing pool. It's a great place to be in, but you don't want to be in there 24/7 for the rest of your life. You've got a life to live out here. You've got people to connect with. You've got things to do. You've got a life to live. So this is a good place to be temporarily, to receive what you need to sort things out for yourself, but it's not helpful to hang about in the healing cave forever. So find the courage now. We're going to move out of this warm place and lift up into your life, into your potentials, into the new beginnings that call you. So new beginnings. And I'm just going to grab a handful and pop you on the chimes. Uplifting, rising, living, allowing. Okay, Suzie, you're right on top here. Can I play these under you? So feel the strength rise within you, your mental determination, your emotional willingness and flow, and your physical activity, your physical action. Rising like the sun, rising up behind or on the horizon, lifting up into the new day, the new way, the new life, the new moments, the new experiences for you and what you need. If you're not clear about what you need, then maybe it's a good time over the next few days to figure that out too. Find clarity in regards to what you need. So rising now like the phoenix, out of the healing pool, out of that resting, healing time, and into your freedom, into the next step, into the new beginnings for you. You are ready because you are here and you're hearing this and you're feeling this. So you are ready. You have never been more ready than now. So find the courage to step up in your life. You have a lot of support around you. Whew, it's getting hotter and hotter. Whew, okay, so like the phoenix, except out of the healing pool, out of that resting time if you're ready, and into the next step. Okay, so I think and feel that that's that. I am going to pull a card to go, but I do trust that you feel revived and refreshed and clearer and like there's space inside you, a bit more settled perhaps, a bit more sure, a bit more clarity and strength within yourself, that you're ready for the next step for you. You might have clarity on what that is right now. You might know exactly what you need to do, but also you may not. And that's okay, because we don't always have to know that, as long as we're open to the clarity coming when the timing is right. Thank you so much. It's very bright, as you can see. All right, let's put the new beginnings back and let's grab a card to go. So how can we now welcome this into our life? Meaning, how can we make this a reality for us? What's the best way? What's the best advice? What's the best card we can find to help this stick, to help this be real for us? So the best card for what's next as we tie this connection and journey up is this. It's this. Oh, Healing Hands. I love this card. Healing Hands, card 22. It's in the action category. So this is doing things, creating things with our hands. See how this feels for you? It says hands, creativity, expression, building, making, caring, nurturing, receiving, emitting, extension, intentions, bring something into form. The power is in your hands to make this stick, to make this count, to make whatever you've pulled from this experience and whatever you've been feeling, to make this a reality, a real thing in your life. The power is in your hands. So what can you do? This is very much a doing, a making, a building, a creating, a giving, a receiving, a whatever really that resonates with you. And it's almost like the body follows the hands. It's like the hands, if they were out like this, that the hands come into view first, and then we emerge out of the mists. So what can you create? What can you build now for yourself and your life and your family and your experience? Maybe more healing is required, and you know this. So sit with that for a little bit longer. But don't sit in that place of healing, the healing cave forever. Because it's a great place to be in, but it's also at some point will mean a place of hiding, a place of holding back. So put your healing to practice, put it to work by getting out into your life. So that's that. Thanks so much for joining me today. Thanks so much to those of you on the healing list for your support for this month. And if you'd love to be a part of this next month, then please have a look on my Patreon. The link is in the video description somewhere. And at the $15 level for July, then you can be added to this healing event. Plus, there's other little things too that you receive. So the next one will be towards the end of July. I'll confirm the date for that early in July so that you know when we're connecting. And what we're going to be doing is very much just whatever I'm feeling is strongest at the time. So I trust that. Thank you so much. If you've got questions or feedback, let me know. Contact me through my website or put a message, comment in the video if you wish. Have a great rest of your day. And thank you so much for connecting and being here. Thank you.